Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, we check in with a local nonprofit that helps keep our community fed. And we find out how Sheila Tarr Elementary School is more than making the grade when it comes to math and reading scores. Here to talk about these topics and much more is our Ward 4 City Councilwoman, Francis Allen-Palenske. Welcome back.
Thank you, Dave. It's always a pleasure.
Doing?
I love coming in.
Good for you. It's a pleasure having you on the program. Hard to believe summer is like in the rearview mirror here for the kids anyway. They're back to school and we're off and running. We have a busy show. You have a lot of events coming up. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the program. So, you know Ward 4 very well. It's your stomping ground out there. For those of you, though, aren't exactly sure where we're talking about, well, don't worry. We're going to show you on the map. It's in the great northwest area of the city of Las Vegas. If you live in that area or work in that area, of course, you're in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And if you are a resident out there, you've been represented on the City Council since December by Francis Allen-Palenske.
Yay.
You have been very great about highlighting issues within the city, within your ward, and we're going to continue that tradition today. It's really nice. Joining us for our first segment is Nolga Valadez. She's the Senior Outreach Manager from the Three Square organization, if I can spit it out. Councilwoman Nolga, first of all, welcome to the program. Great to have you on here. Three Square is such an institution in our community now. Your organization does great work, and so many other nonprofits rely on your good work. So,
well, thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure. And yes, I would love to just kind of educate our community a little more of who Three Square is and what we do for our community. Three Square is the only Southern Nevada food bank, and we serve the county of Lincoln, 9, Esmeralda, and Clark. And our goal is to make sure that our community does not go hungry.
I think, Councilwoman, you wanted to also make sure that that awareness is raised, because I've been here a long time, and Nolga, I didn't even know that you serve those many counties. I thought this was more of a focus on Clark County. I did not know that it was a focus on all those other counties as well.
Yes, we have 2 food banks in our state, and as I mentioned, we serve the southern part of the state, while the food of Northern Nevada serves the northern part of the state.
Nolga, how many clients, do you break it down by households or numbers of individuals? How many people do you think Three Square is helping both here in Southern Nevada and across the area and across Southern Nevada?
Yeah. Well, we have right now 1 in 8 is food insecure, lives in a household that is food insecure, and 1 in 6 of those are children. So that's roughly about 94,000 children that live in a household that is food insecure. And that's why we have some programs within the food bank, within Three Square, that can help our community. We have our Meet Up and Eat Up program that just ended. It's our summer program that helps children with breakfast, lunch, or snack. And we go through different parts of the city, such as YMCA's, Boys and Girls Club, as well as some mobile routes that we had. I believe it was a little bit over 10 routes that we had, where we basically met the children where they were at, apartment complexes and such. Since the summer ended, now we are on our Kids Cafe program,
which I love.
Yeah, it's an after-school program, and again, it just helps the children for that extra meal after school. We are again at the locations that I mentioned, the YMCA's, the Boys and Girls Club. We are at the Las Vegas Rec Center as well, just helping, helping the families getting the children that extra meal that they need.
Wow. Nolga, and I know this is something that the Councilwoman is very interested in. In the past, as I recall, there were a lot of different organizations trying to operate food banks, gather food, but it seems like Three Square has kind of been the clearinghouse. It's been a lot more organized so that everybody is kind of focused on what they do best versus everybody kind of going in a different direction. That seems like that's been a direction that's changed over time, where Three Square's taken the lead in being kind of the main food bank.
Right, since we are the only food bank in Southern Nevada, we rely on our agency partners tremendously to be able to distribute the food to our community. We definitely couldn't do it alone. So that's why we have several agency partners, and that's where the community can actually go and get the food that they're looking for.
Gotcha. And so comes to 3 Square, and then 3 Square distributes it to the agency partners throughout the community.
That is
throughout the
correct.
state. Yeah.
That is correct. That's how we do it. And if it wasn't for them, there's no way that we could be where we are today.
Nolga, where does the food primarily come from? The food that you get in the food banks, where does it come from?
Some of the foods are purchased. Some of the foods come from the USDA, the TFAP program that we have, and some of the foods are donated. We also do the food rescue at some of the grocery stores and some of our local restaurants and whatnot, Starbucks, Sam's Club. You name it, we do a lot of food rescue. We have a whole department that concentrates on the food rescue. You know, in the purchase, we have a great buying power that allow us to buy foods rather inexpensive, so that because we buy such massive amount.
How many tons of food? Can you give us an idea of how much food you push out at 3 Square in a given year?
Oh my goodness, I don't have the exact amount, but it's
massive.
Hundreds of pounds that I apologize, I don't have that amount right off the top of my head, but yes, it's a lot of pounds of foods that we put out there.
It's a nonstop operation. Nolga, I know this is one thing interesting to the Councilwoman. You have some opportunity for volunteers. You're always looking for volunteers in the community to help out. You have some unique ways of helping people. The Councilwoman and I were talking about this, to get people involved in a fun way as well as in an important way.
Absolutely. And again, the same way we cannot do it without our agency partners, we couldn't do it without the volunteers. The volunteers play a tremendous role within the operations of the food bank. We have volunteers that come to us, whether it's individuals or groups. We have casinos having groups of individuals come together to do team building activities in the kitchen, just putting together over 900 meals per day for the Kids Cafe program for the after school meal. In this, you know, it's kind of like assembly line, and you know, we have music playing in the background and making it fun so that, you know, so that they can get really into the mood, and we couldn't do it if it wasn't for the volunteers. They help us tremendously to be able to keep our community fed.
Councilwoman and I were joking. We remember the old Lucy stick where Lucy and Ethel are trying to do this. It's not that fast, though. It's not that fast.
It can be done. If you're an employer out there, please volunteer and bring your people. It's fun, team building, morale building, and also helping the community.
Yeah.
So
and what a fun way to build some team camaraderie around your work group and do something that's going to really impact the community. That's awesome.
And if people want more information in regards to volunteering, please visit our website, 3square.org. You can get all the information that you need there so that you can come and volunteer.
Nolga, I'd ask you this. We're almost out of time with you, but is there something that people need to know about 3 Square that the community generally doesn't know? And I know it's one of the things that Councilwoman wanted to make sure that we help raise awareness. What are some things about 3 Square that the community probably should know but may not know?
The number one thing that a lot of people may not know, and I often, when I talk about it, people often say, wow, I didn't know you guys did this. We have a call center. In the call center, we're receiving calls constantly from our community seeking assistance, whatever assistance they may need. Some of the assistance we're able to help with, some we have the resources to guide them where they can get that help. Our call center is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have an excellent Golden Groceries program for those that are 60 or better, as we like to call it, where they can get free Lyft rides, as well as home delivery groceries. We can help them apply for SNAP benefits, or formerly known as food stamps, also with energy assistance. We know that the need is out there, and sometimes the food insecure households have more of a need just than food. So we're trying to have all that wraparound services that we can help our community properly.
All right.
If you know a child that's hungry, call.
Yeah. What is that number, Nolga?
Absolutely. 702-765-4030.
Okay. All right. Well, very important. Councilwoman, we're just about out of time. I'll give you the final word. If there's anything else you'd like to say about 3 Square and their strong efforts in the community.
They're a wonderful organization, 3square.org. Check it out online for more information. Nolga, you guys do God's work, and I'm grateful. The city government can't fix everything.
Exactly, and this is a huge help, and especially with all the services they're providing, too, beyond what we can provide.
We don't have the resources. We do help. We have facilitated a grant with ARPA funds for 3 Square, but really, they branch the need and provide that service that we as government cannot do.
Very well said. That's exactly the case. So, Nolga Valadez, thank you so much. It's been a
Thank
pleasure
you.
having you on the program. Best of luck with 3 Square and everything you're doing. I think I agree with the Councilwoman. You're doing very important work in this community, and we just
Thank you.
encourage you to keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. Thank you
so
for
much.
having me.
Everyone, we need to take a short break, but when Councilwoman and I return, we're going to introduce you to some staff members from Sheila Tarr Elementary School, where they're doing some very great things. That's right after this.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Welcome back, everyone. Joining us now are Allison Jones, the principal from Sheila Tarr Academy, and Tracy Baldwin, who's the school coordinator there. And Councilwoman, it's great to have Allison and Tracy with us, and I know you are very proud of Sheila Tarr Academy because of all the things they're accomplishing, magnet school in your ward.
Yeah, they do great stuff, named after a fallen firefighter, Clark County, which is it's wonderful the way the school is laid out and how they honor her memory. Dr. Jones, Mrs. Jones does a great job. Sorry for the promotion, does a great job of keeping that spirit alive. So we thank you for that.
Well, Principal Jones, Allison Jones, I think people are familiar with Sheila Tarr Elementary School, but that is now, it's an academy now. Tell us about the change.
About 6 years ago, we transitioned from an elementary school in the sense of what you see in the district to an actual magnet school. And so we became an international baccalaureate school, and hence we changed our name to be Sheila Tarr Academy of International Studies.
Tell us what an international baccalaureate school does, or what's the curriculum?
We still teach the Common Core state standards. We want to make sure everyone understands that. That's the expectation of the Nevada state. So we still teach those. But we infuse some of what International Baccalaureate has in, not necessarily their program, but they like us to do. So we focus on our learner profile. And we teach through planners throughout the school year. For those of you who grew up in my age, we called them units, but we call them planners. And we just teach our younger children through play-based learning. And we just have a lot of fun.
And speaking of play-based learning, we've got Tracy Baldwin here. Tracy, I know we go back many years, just you and I personally. You were the coach of my daughter's soccer team back in the day. So I know that if there comes to play-based learning, you're going to be a genius at it because you were a great coach back in the day. So tell everybody, what is play-based learning? How does that work?
Well, the philosophy behind the IB is for kindergarten through up to 2nd grade to have the experiences with learning from each other through play. A lot of research is behind that to follow the backing of it, where kids just learn better when they're doing. So it goes right along with what the IB would like us to do for their philosophy with inquiry, and we do a lot of collaboration. So kids are talking to each other. We encourage talking. We encourage getting up and moving. And so they get to have that playtime where they're using manipulatives, or they're doing puzzles, or they're whatever the teachers are planning for through their learning experiences with the kids. A lot of it will be through a place type of environment.
Tracy, talk about the success that you've had as a result of this technique, this curriculum, versus kind of the traditional way that maybe I went to school.
You know, It follows with the kids and how they interact with each other. It's a good place for kids to feel safe. They can play and it doesn't feel like learning in a sense,
right.
but they get to learn through all of these experiences, whether they're putting soil in a bucket to plant something, or using our hydroponics kits, or even exploring out into our gardens. We've taken over some of our learning spaces in the building, and we've put out flexible seating in the areas of our great rooms and in our classrooms. And for the play, the kids get to go and do puppet shows, or they get to do drama, or there's kitchenettes where they get to do those things where they get to learn and play like they're cooking, or play like they're in a school environment and they're the teacher, or whatever that might be. The teachers really try to guide that with the inquiry stations, I'll call them. So they'll put out the information where, kids, we're going to be communicators today, and how can you show us that through these different settings? So it really has brought them to be more, I guess, active in their classrooms with the collaboration and being a part of a team. So after second grade, it goes into more like STEM, and they do more hands-on science-y things. So I think it does build into as they grow, because they have to be safe and learn as they need to.
Councilwoman's very proud of what you're accomplishing there. I know you.
When I was on a tour, I think this is a third grade that is already doing coding.
That was second, I think.
Oh my gosh, it is amazing what those kids can do. I mean,
We were having a dance party that
yes,
day.
yes, it was lots of fun. And I've never seen an administrator handle lunch quite like the way Ms. Jones does. I mean, that you can tell she's a veteran administrator, because those kids are soldiers and lunch is orderly. She has a specific table where kids, if they don't like something, drops off that portion that they don't like, and they trade it in for something else.
Oh, interesting.
We were talking about food insecurity earlier.
And we're not wasting food. That's so
Correct,
important. Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
They're in, I don't believe there's many hungry kids at Sheila Tarr Academy, and that's a testament to you.
Wow. Allison, tell us, this is an amazing program. For parents, maybe you're watching this, it's like, how do I get my kid into Sheila Tarr Academy? What's the process?
So the process starts by going to magnet.ccsd.net. There they create an application, and we start that process in the fall. So end of September, beginning of October, the application opens, and they have up until usually the first or second week of January to apply. That's for the grade level their child will be in the following year. So if you have a 4-year-old right now who's going to be 5 before the first day of school in August 1st, then you want to apply right now. And we have 126 openings per grade level, and so the best time to get in is as a kindergarten student.
Of course.
And they follow through throughout the year. We do lose students or they move. So the other grade levels do have some openings, sometimes only 3 to 4, sometimes 10, just depending. But kindergarten is the year to get in.
And I wanted to ask Tracy, do most of the kids, once you start in kindergarten, do you stay a student, or do you have to reapply? Do you have to reapply every year?
Once you apply and you accept your seat, then you are in, unless you tell us you are leaving. And so that would be the following school year that we would then remove them, so we can open up the seat for the next application time frame.
Gotcha.
So we know how many seats we have for the upcoming grade levels. Give us an idea how many seats we can pull. So it's a process. Magnet, we work closely with the Magnet department, of course, to go through all of those steps and things. So we also, during the time frame, we offer parents to come into our school. So I walk them around and I share all about the International Baccalaureate and what we do, and they get to see things around. So it's a nice experience for them to be able to see the school, not just see it on our website or look at it on paper. So we do
really
offer
great.
And
tours.
if they miss that fall time, there's always the second application, which happens usually into April, into May, and all
good to
through
know
the
everybody.
summer. That if you missed out, we have families who are moving here over the summer, and they communicate, can we still get in? Yes, fill out that late application, and if seats come available, then we welcome you to come.
Well, that's terrific. Allison, how many teachers do you have out at Sheila Tarr?
Wow, probably close to 40 classroom
Wow.
teachers, over 70 staff members total.
Wow, that's a big operation.
It is.
Hang in there. We've got less than a minute. Councilwoman, I'll give you the final word if there's anything else you'd like to add.
Oh, we're proud of all of our schools, but especially Sheila Tarr. We're located in the northwest part of the valley. Kids come from all over, though, to attend. So.
Yeah, to the magnet program, exactly right. Hence the name, I guess. And well, it's a pleasure. Tracy Baldwin, Allison Jones, a pleasure having you both here. Really exciting. Learned a lot. I didn't know all the things that you offered there, but it's impressive. So we were saying earlier, sometimes the CCSD doesn't get all the credit maybe it should over the years. A lot of great things going on, and this is a perfect example of it right here, Tracy and
We like to
Allison.
highlight the positive.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, thank you both so much for being here. We appreciate it. We need to take another short break, but when we return, we're going to share some important upcoming events with you.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back, everyone. There are some key events coming up that we don't want you to miss. Councilwoman Palenske and I are going to tell you about them. The first one, it's just hard to believe we've come full circle for another year. It's almost time to remember 9/11 again.
It is. It's fitting and proper. We do it every year.
Yep.
Police Memorial Park in beautiful Ward 4. We always put on a good show. The guys from the 1013 Club, those are fallen officers. The New York City officers that responded are there present, and they put it on.
A lot of them are retired here,
Yes.
Councilwoman. A lot of people may not know that, but those folks are retired here. And of course, you are the spouse of a retired firefighter. A lot of firefighters, tough day. That's a tough day for the fire service across the nation too. So it's a wonderful memorial. It's a fitting memorial. That's going to be on, of course, September 11th out at Police Memorial Park, as Councilwoman mentioned, 11 to 1 that day. And
keep in mind our young folks, they really have no memory of it. So explaining what took place and honoring those that we lost, that's a solemn day.
it is, and we don't want to ever forget it. Councilwoman, also, the very next day, you got a town hall. You and Councilwoman Bruni are going to meet with, Sheriff McMahill.
It's a
great man.
Absolutely. Great sheriff. Show up with your questions. No question is out of bounds, but we do ask everybody to be respectful.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be on September 12th, Tuesday, September 12th, from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Police Academy location. That's out on West Cheyenne. And you, Councilwoman Bruni, and the sheriff will be there. And as Councilwoman said, Sheriff McMahill and, of course, our council members are very open to meeting with the public, hearing your questions, addressing your concerns. It's a great team. That's a great team of people, actually, to have in one room. If you want to make sure that people are aware of what's going on in your community, if you have a concern, you have a question, you just want to network a little bit with your elected officials, that is a great opportunity there. So don't miss that. And then also in September, gosh, Councilwoman, you are busy. September 15th, a few days later, it's an opportunity for people to just meet you individually out at the Durango Hills YMCA. This is out in your ward, Friday, September 15th from 10 to noon. This is such a nice opportunity, Councilwoman. I think sometimes coming to City Hall can seem a little intimidating. This is a lot less formal. It's just an opportunity to sit down and chat with the councilwoman. It's great.
I live about 2 minutes away. Most of everybody else lives about 2 minutes away. It's easy, central location, and we love to talk.
Councilwoman, typically, what are you hearing from folks out there? What are some of the things that they're concerned with? We hear about burglaries, auto thefts, et cetera.
Public safety is at the top of everyone's agenda, definitely. But I'm hearing more and more about those power bills. It's summertime, so
and water bills too. We hear a lot of that right now. Yeah, for sure. So come on out and talk to the councilwoman. She can't fix your power bill or fix your water bill, but she'll listen to what you have to say. And then. Councilwoman, this is really, again, we're heading into the fall, but National Night Out is coming up in October. This used to be it is in August as well, but in the states that it's really hot in August, we do it in October as well. So our National Night Out will be Tuesday, October 3rd from 4:30 to 7:30 out at downtown Summerlin. You're partnering with Councilwoman Bruni on this one as well, right?
Yes, and they do a fabulous job. The Summerlin Area Command and Northwest Area Command, there are a couple commands that join in, and the one at downtown Summerlin is spectacular. They bring out the SWAT tanks, the fire engines. It's great for children to become familiar with law enforcement and not have those undercurrent of concern and lack of familiarity, really.
You know, that's such a good point, Councilwoman. I think Metro, the police department here in Las Vegas, has done a great job of building that relationship with the community. They call it community-oriented policing. You get to know the officers not just when something bad happens, but at other times too. And it helps build that sense of community. It helps build a lot of trust in the police here versus other cities that have really struggled with all of that. So. But yeah, they do a good job here, and you're helping with build that relationship by being at events like that as well. And then, Councilwoman, we couldn't not mention too that also in September, around the 25th, I think, you have a birthday coming up.
29 again.
29 again, yeah, me too. Me too. So, well, congratulations, happy birthday in advance here. So, but you're not really taking any time off for your birthday, doesn't look like.
No, September and October are quite busy, but this is why we do it. So,
well,
public education is so important. Explaining the needs that are out there and highlighting the positive. That's what we do.
Yep. So, well, folks, you got plenty of opportunities to get in touch with the councilwoman over the next.
Be tired of seeing my face.
Next month or two. So. Well, folks, we always want to hear from you out there. So if there's something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Palenske, you can find her on Facebook and Twitter. You can also contact her by picking up the phone, 702-229-6405, or send her an email. Her address is fpalenske@lasvegasnevada.gov, and she or one of her great staff will get right back to you. So, well, Councilwoman, great job. Pleasure having you on. We'll see you in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 4. It'll go like that.
It does.
Get some rest in the meantime, too. You're keeping pretty hectic pace here.
Do my best.
Okay. Great work. We'll see you then. And folks, don't miss our next show beginning on September 7th with Councilwoman Victoria Seaman. You can catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire now. Also, watch for our QR code at the very end of this show to subscribe to our newsletter. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.